back, boys and girls, to another episode of Auntie Tammy's Mission Adventures. I am Auntie Tammy, and this is my daughter,
Layla,
and my niece,
Shayla,
and my nephew,
Nathaniel.
Yes, and we have been here with you for a few Sabbaths now, and we're sharing with you some of my mission adventures as I share with them, and they learn about what it means, in an adventurous way to be a missionary. It's the same way I'm sharing it with you, and I hope that you are truly enjoying it. If you missed last week, you just need to go scroll through, go on marriage, ministry, motherhood, and you will find all of them there. There are plenty for you to see. There's stories like when the ants came and chased me out of bed with my family, well, out of the entire house in the middle of the night. And there are days when there's someone we went down a sand chute, and there are others, can you remember? The snake, the shooting stars,
The rocky boat.
the rocky boat. There's so many adventurous things that my family experienced in the mission field. And I was a missionary in Guyana, Suriname, Argentina, Brazil, Romania, and America. Yes, with who?
The Navajo.
With the Navajos. Oh, I love them. And today's story happened in Guyana, in the jungle, where I was a missionary for most of the time. And the memory verse is taken from Ecclesiastes 9 verse 10.
It says, "Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with your might. For there is no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you are going."
Aha. So whatever it is that you find yourself to do, Solomon said to do it with all of your might. So if your mommy asked you to, can you pick up that bucket for me? And you're lazy and you just drag it. Or can you sweep the living room and that's basically not what this verse is saying. What is this verse saying?
Saying to do everything cheerfully.
Yes. Another thing? Anything else? What's it saying to do it? Cheerfully, being happy with all your might.
Like basically do it to the best of your ability.
To the best of your ability in a cheerful way. And then Jesus will be happy. Do you want to make Jesus happy?
Yes.
Yes, I want to make Jesus happy. And that's what I did with this story as we separated our classrooms. So when I got to my mission school in the jungle, it was this big building. Well, big. No windows. It had some doors that the dogs would still just push away and go in the nights. And there were no separations. It was just one big classroom with 5 classes, actually 6, because the 7th grade was separated in 2. So we would do that, and I tried everything. I would use the writing boards to separate one classroom. So I'm writing on this board at one, my husband's writing on that side of the board. So I'm teaching the 9th grade around here, and he's teaching the 10th grade around here. We're writing on the board. We got to the end and we both look and high five, hey, nice to see you. And then we continue. But it was not the ideal. I needed these classrooms to be separated just like it was in other regular schools. And I started praying, Lord, can you find a way for us to separate the classrooms? So a mission group came over, and they did an amazing job. They helped to build a house in the village, and they built, I think, our cafeteria. And the Lord said, you know what? You should talk to these students and tell them how much it would cost per block to build this classroom if we made the blocks ourselves. So I started working out. We have the sand, our campus is all sand, and blocks are made with sand and water and cement. So I asked, how much is it for a bag of cement? And when I was told how much it was just such a small amount in American dollars. So I started going to each student, and we figured out, it will take this many blocks. So it would need this many bags of cement. And I took a hat and I said, would you like to buy a block? Would you like to buy a bag of cement? Would you like to? And these students were so happy to give. And they each were given a $15, $5, $10. And we had enough money that I was able to send out on the boat and to buy all the cement that we needed. And the students were so excited that what they then did, we borrowed the block makers from the village and they would stay back in the afternoon and each one would take their turns with the wheelbarrow, filling with sand and little stones because they wanted it to be very firm. So they would fill, and the girls and the boys, they would take turns. They'd carry water from the creek, which was not really close by. So we had our water, we had cement, we had the sand, and we had little bits of stones. We mixed them all together and we started to the best of our ability to separate the classroom. And we drew the line, and of course, as we built, the wall was a little bit curved. You know, if an actual contractor have a look at it, they'd be like, no, this is not the best. But we were doing the best that we could, and we tried to correct it. And the students were so excited. And then day 2, we continued, and day 3. And I think it took us a week, and we were able to separate an entire classroom in the jungle at our little mission school. And when I saw what it meant to the students, I decided that I was going to do everything that I needed to do to have all the classrooms separated. And I was on a quest to do that until the Lord said, no, what I'd like you to do now, you have done enough here in Guyana. I want you to move on to Romania, and I want you to go and continue building there in that ministry where we've been serving for the last 3 years. So God used somebody else to finish the work there in Guyana. All the classrooms not yet separated. I think it's still only the one because somebody else came and they focused on something else. And they really redid that space. Yes, but you know this Bible verse we read, it says, whatever it is you're doing, to do it with
all your might.
All your might. And when, boys and girls, you're doing things with all your might, God truly, truly will bless you with all of his might. And all God's might is. Do you think all God's might is like this? No, all God's might is like everything you can even ask or imagine. Yes? So I do ask that you pray and you ask the Lord, Father, help me. That whenever I'm doing anything, that I will not grumble, I will not moan, I will not find fault. I will do it cheerfully and I will do it with everything within me. And do you know that when you pray prayers like that, do you think God answers or not?
He answers.
He answers. Do you have any examples of God answering your prayers? Want to share one really quickly? Layla, would you like to share the one about last year when we wanted to come and see Auntie Jo when she had the accident and how we had to pray?
He did answer for me.
He did. He did. Did we pray just for a little bit and then we left it? No.
We pray all the time.
We prayed all the time, and Layla would say, Mama, you need to have faith because God will provide. We were missionaries in Romania, and we wanted to come to England to Nathaniel and Shayla's mom who had an accident, and we needed to come and be here with them while she was in the hospital. And we prayed. And when we prayed with all of our might, God heard. And the next morning, before we got out of bed, there was a knock on the door, and we asked nobody. We asked nobody for anything. There was a knock on the door saying, your sister is not well. Would you like some help? Here is some money. And we were able to buy our tickets and to come. And God really, really heard and answered our prayers. Boys and girls, if you want to be missionaries, if you want to help somebody, I pray that you will pray and that you will talk to Jesus about it and ask him to help you and ask him to give you even the desire if you don't feel like being a missionary because you think people are mean. No, ask the Lord to put that in your heart because he would like us all to be missionaries, don't you think?
Mhm.
Because when he was leaving, didn't he say, I ask that you go everywhere and teach?
Gospel.
Teach the gospel. Teach everyone that I love them. And then we baptize them. And then one day we'll all be in heaven together. Wouldn't that be wonderful, boys and girls?
Mhm.
It would be. So I pray that as the Lord gave me the strength and my family to build and separate that classroom in Guyana, that he'll also give you the strength to do something amazing for him. But until next time, I am Auntie Tammy, and we'll see you again for another one of our mission adventures, won't we?
Yes.
Yes, and until then, bye.
Bye.